Hello, gorgeous people, and welcome to another TV Central one-on-one podcast. I'm Aaron Ryan. This is episode 68, 2023. Matt Evans is known to most as playing the character Theopolis on Home and Away, but Matt is also an accomplished singer, having completed a 4-year Bachelor of Contemporary Music in Voice at the West Australian Academy of Performing Arts. Some may also remember him from The Voice, where he was mentored by Delta Goodrem and was in the top 20. It's been a while coming, but this year Matt released his first solo single, Over It. Actor, musician, model, and even handing on a forklift. Matt Evans joins me now. Matt, thank you for joining me at TV Central.
Hi, how you going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm good. Well, first up, like myself, you're a WA boy growing up in the West, and amongst other things, I'm always enjoying the annual telethon we have over here on Channel 7. Is it a bit surreal now coming home and appearing on it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in this industry, it's really hard to always kind of look back and see the accomplishments that you have. But yeah, I feel like this year more so, I really felt it being there and being like the on the other side of it was quite special. And I love it so much, and it's so much fun. It's just such a great thing to go to and be a part of. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things I don't necessarily think about it a lot, but it just sort of once it happens, and then you just feel at home. But yeah, it is really special.
Tell me about growing up in WA. What was your childhood like? Was music a strong component of your adolescence?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I was quite a footy boy growing up. I wanted to play AFL my whole, childhood. And then it wasn't until probably about year 10 or 11 where I started the whole music thing. And I was given a keyboard from my grandpa once, and then I remember the switch of just becoming totally obsessed with it. And then coming home from school every night and just playing this keyboard over and over and over again. And then my dad ended up getting upgrading and getting me a piano, and then one thing led to the next. I got piano lessons at school, and I was really lucky at Trinity College in WA. It's a really great school and had a really good music program. That I started the classical piano lessons, and then it turned into joining the choir, and then I got a guitar, and then it all just kind of flowed from there. So I guess like year 11 and 12, I was very, very much into the music. I kind of just became obsessed. I saw a video of Matt Corby playing Brother once when I was in year 11, and I saw that and I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, and I always grew up in a musical household, listening to music. My dad loved Aussie rock music. So there was a lot of music kind of going around. And yeah, it wasn't until that later period of high school where I just really delved into it and fell in love with it.
You went on to WAAPA, some huge graduates there. Obviously, Hugh Jackman, the gorgeous Lucy Durack, Francis O'Connor, Marcus Graham, Tim mentioned to name a few. Very prestigious school. People, I mean, can make a career in music, from a YouTube clip if they want to. But many of the graduates, places like WAAPA, they often people that are there often talk about how much it adds to their career. So, what was the major takeaway from your time at WAAPA?
I think it really gets you comfortable with feedback and constructive feedback, and really leaving your ego at the door and being able to be completely constructed down and building yourself back up again. I think that's what's so beneficial in this career, especially within the arts, is to consistently be able to know that you're not the best that you can be or the best out there, and you need to keep you working towards your craft. And I think that's what it really taught you, that this is like, a lot of people think maybe the arts is somewhat easier or whatever than a conventional job, but it really is so much hard work and training over years and years and years. And it really just taught you that you really got to work hard on what you do and take the feedback that people give you. And yeah, the hours as well, obviously lots of long hours that come with this industry.
Of course. You were on The Voice at the age, I think I was around 23. I was curious to know about, now looking back, how much aligned you were with Delta Goodrem. I mean, she's obviously a talented musician, but a massive part of her career was playing Nina on Neighbours. Did you have some foresight into the future on that one?
Yeah, I guess it's like, yeah, it's kind of reversed. I did the singing show first and then went to the other show. But Yeah, I mean, I've kind of joked about that a little bit since the show with my friends and stuff. And they were like, "Oh, I'm going to try and be the next Delta." But it is a very very similar path, and I'm very much trying to do go as hard with my music as much as I can now, and yeah, maybe I could be Delta 2.0.
Maybe. Look, there've been a number of massive Australian artists that have appeared in soap like Delta Goodrem, like Natalie Imbruglia, people like that. In your opinion, what do you think it sets someone apart in making it the big time, and I guess people that don't, given that they may have very similar careers, being on a soap, enjoying music and stuff.
It's a hard one, but it probably goes back to, and I don't want to discredit anyone that doesn't have this high level of success, but well, I think it's a few things. It's obviously continuing to work with the constant no's that you get in this industry and throwing yourself at every opportunity that comes your way, consistently working on your craft as well. But, it is a really weird one with this industry where it kind of comes down to luck, as people say. But the more you throw yourself out there and the more positions you put yourself in, the luckier you become because your chances to success are greater. So I think, that's all I can really add to that. But I don't really know what the difference
Yeah,
is with the people that do make it or not. But all I can say is that that's kind of the obvious blueprint to success, really.
yeah. Tell me about your single "Over It" because I like the background story on that one.
Yeah, so that was the first one, the first single released in, I think, January, February now. Yeah, the backstory. It was pretty much, I wrote that song during COVID when I moved to Sydney, and I did probably the dumbest thing you could do and left Perth, which was like the safest state in COVID, and came to Sydney by myself. There was no work going on, and I remember there was the government thing that was coming out, so I was just had that for an income because I couldn't work anywhere, and and then I met one girl, and then it just sort of went pretty pear shaped, and yeah, I feel like there was a lot of gaslighting that was going on there. And then anyway, she eventually left, and everything within that moment was so like heightened, and everything felt so dramatic because we were all so unhappy because there was nothing going on, and so when I met that girl, it was the only thing that was going on in my life, and so it really affected me quite badly, and that sort of, yeah, motivated me to write quite a few songs back in that time, and then this was the first one that I thought was, had a bit of a hook, and yeah, I wrote that with my producer that I'm working with now. He didn't produce it or my second one, but now on my most recent single and my whole EP to come next year, I'm working with the same guy that I wrote that song with because we've shared a lot of memories together and have good chemistry. But he said the other day, which is quite funny, he was like, "I remember when I first met you around the time when I wrote this song," and he was like, "You were so sad." It's like you were just so
Oh,
sad all the time.
oh.
I was like, it's very funny, but not anymore. We've changed. we, we've evolved.
And what does the ex think about the song?
She did hear it. I sent it to her, I remember, before it came out, and yeah, I mean, she was pretty much just like, "Oh, I think in her mind, she's like, "There's a song about me that's out there," which is, "Oh, cool, that's great." So she didn't really care at all. So, um, yeah, it's all good with me.
Another one of your singles, I really like "Nothing But a Heartache." Now, I
Mm.
wasn't 100% sure what it was about. It seemed to me, I just seeing if I'm right here, that the song was saying that you found a good person, but it's you that's the problem. They're seeing the angel in you, but you're not acting like an angel and just being a heartache to that person. Is that the gist? As
Yeah, so it's pretty self-deprecating, I guess. And I think, because with these songs that I wrote in this EP, I decided like I really wanted to be honest with them all and write exactly how I was feeling and not worry about what other people think and just say it. And I think I've been through quite a few relationships in my life that have sort of gone pear shaped, and I've been single for quite some time now. And I think I have a lot of issues, I guess, or yeah, just things that have trickled part from that to now. And so I always try to protect myself, and that might not always be in the best way. And so I guess it's like this weird commitment issue kind of thing where I will leave first so that I don't get hurt. That it's happened a lot like a lot of times before. So something that I've had to like address within myself. But yeah, it was definitely a self-deprecating song. And when I wrote it, I was feeling pretty yeah, not 100% at the time. And I was like, I got to kind of address this. So I did.
Mm-hmm. You write a lot of love songs, but my understanding is that from reading other interviews that you haven't had many girlfriends in the past and don't fall in love easily. I guess you usually see a strong contrast between love songs and someone's love life. I'm intrigued by the juxtaposition of those two elements. Or I guess you could write a number of songs on the few relationships that you've had. Do you just like writing a lot of love songs, even though there's only been a few experiences? Or
I think a lot of them have come from those small sort of those small amount of relationships that I've had. But as I was saying, I think now I've been writing from the other hand of it, of saying that I'm the problem because there's not as many relationships that have been happening recently. So I think I just need to start falling in love a bit more, and then I can write more music. But also, there are quite a lot of love songs out there, so I'm like, I need to write about something else and try and change it a bit. But yeah, in this EP, I think there's one more that's sort of about a relationship that I'd had, and which was the first song that I'd ever written about this specific one. And then after that is all kind of different stuff, which is nice.
yeah. Look, you don't have to answer this question, but we're just going through this now. You're saying a number of your relationships have gone pear-shaped at the end. I think when people obviously see you, or people that I've heard that know you or talk to you, just think you're the most adorable person on the earth. Why do they all go pear-shaped?
I think that I don't really know how to stand up for myself or set the boundaries, or I let people get away with more than they should, I think. And then I always come to this moment of realization, and then it's just like it's too late. But having said that, they're not really. I wouldn't say they've gone pear shaped. Like I could still go and talk to all of these people, except maybe one of them, and they would all be okay. So they're not terribly bad. But yeah, I think I've always been someone who's really bad with confrontation. So I'm hard with saying how I feel. Hence why probably people think I'm a nice person, because I don't don't
Oh.
call people out on things. But yeah, like I think that's always been a struggle of mine, is trying to find the confidence to say how I feel, and I think that can be detrimental to relationships. So that's something I had to work on myself before, installing that into somebody else.
Look, moving on, you obviously don't have to make a definitive choice between music and acting. Like Delta Goodrem and Jessica Malboy have been successful in both. Obviously, music took center stage for both of them, because touring and performing obviously restricts acting roles. I gather you enjoy both, but what plays in the heart the most?
Yeah, I get asked this question a lot, and my answer is pretty much always the same, in that I since I've started acting, I really love it. It's a skill that, or it's a thing that I never tapped into when I was younger, but I realized it was always something that was kind of a bit like me, because I was always a bit of a class clown doing accents and impersonations and all that sort of stuff. So I was always doing a little bit of quote unquote acting. And then since I've been doing it, I really love it, and it's been such a nice skill to learn and develop. And having said that, nothing beats your first love, and music was my first love, and it's has such a big place in my heart for me. So, I don't want to give up either of them. I've always wanted to do both of them. But if I was to pick which one I would want to do, it would probably be to be a recording artist, a singer.
Yeah. All right, I want to talk about body image. Now, you're obviously adored by girls all over Australia. Let's be honest, a lot of guys as well. You're obviously very good looking. Is that something though that I'm going for a serious question here? Is that something that weighs on you though? Like, I mean, to keep good fitness, to be able to appease fans for the shirtless shots on Palm Beach, and the comments that you get from like the 8-week challenge that you did. Do you wonder if people are liking you for you, or if it's just an image thing? Is there a craving for people to go deeper with you?
Yeah, I've never thought about whether it's an image thing as to why people like me, but what I could say is that the holding the image thing is really tough, in
Mm.
terms of holding the physical fitness and things like that, and knowing that being a surfer on the show, I've always got my shirt off all the time, and whenever they do the promos every year, I seem to always be the one that has to have my shirt off when there are other lots of well-built guys there. But yeah, I just kind of it's really tricky, and I can go through lots of moments of sort of anxiety and struggle with that, and some days when I'm just not feeling it at the beach, I'll just say I want to wear a wetsuit today because I ate McDonald's last night or something like that. So I do really struggle with that, and there is a lot of cases of, I guess, like body dysmorphia. Sometimes, like I kind of think that
Mm.
I'm in not as good a shape at all. And then people will always kind of say the opposite. And I ring my brother a lot about that. My brother always says that to me, that I have a slight bit of body dysmorphia, but I do also enjoy keeping in shape, but then at the same time, with such a busy job all the time, it's really hard to find those pockets to work out and be healthy, and then not go and do stuff that you want to do on the weekend, like eat and drink stuff that's high in calories. So
Yeah.
yeah, I do really struggle with that, but yeah, I don't really think that I've thought about whether that is the image is the reason why people do or don't like me. I kind of just don't really think about it, which I think is a healthy approach to it, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, good approach. So, whilst we're talking about the human body, shall we have a little conversation about feet?
Oh no, I hate them. How did you know? Did you How did you find this out? I
I
hate
just like,
feet.
so I think it's some interview somewhere. What is
Yeah.
it? What is it about feet? They're just things
So
that you walk on, you know,
I mean, it's a pretty
toes.
common thing. There's quite a few people that don't like feet. It's a common thing. No,
There's
but
other
my
people that
mum.
really like feet too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, my mum used to, as a kid, she just knew that I wasn't that fond of feet, and then my mum used to always like stick her feet on me and stuff when we're sitting on the couch, and it was like I just like used to get the ick and would run away, and it's just something that stuck with me my whole life. I just don't like feet, and it's I don't know what it is about them, but I'm just like, ugh, it's yeah, and I just don't like having feet out. I will wear socks and shoes most of the time if I can, or something that covers all my toes and stuff, because I just don't fancy feet. I don't know what it is though, but it's something. I think it has to lead to childhood trauma from mum, probably.
All right. Probably based on your character on Home and Away and celebrity events, which is really just a smile for the camera and your sort of short interviews. Some may think that they know you. Maybe it's your music, your work ethics, studies. I just feel there could be a quite a deeper person than people might see. So here's a simple and complex question all in one. Who is Matt Evans?
Matt Evans is probably more complicated than people would think. I definitely have a lot of anxieties and issues of my own, and where I overthink a lot of things in life. But at the core of it, I am a humble, nice person. I try my hardest to be that. Um, but yeah, apart from that, I'm just someone who just loves singing, acting, and playing music and having a beer on the weekend with my mates. I'm a pretty normal guy with that sort of stuff. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much how I would explain me.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, only one specific home and away question. I know you can't give away too much, but a huge finale. Home and away returns January the 8th. What's in store for 2024?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff. I would say personally for Theo that there is a lot of, some would say maybe darker storylines.
Ooh.
Something where I feel like I had to pull out a lot more acting chops, and it was quite a challenge. And I had a lot of fun doing it, but it was a lot of work. And so, yeah, all I could say is there's just stories for Theo which required a lot more challenging. They were just a bit more challenging. So yeah, it's exciting.
I thought it was going to be really vague. That's really interesting. Oh, how could that be? All right. All right. Final question. I would love to know who inspires you. Is it God? Is it family, fellow actors, nature, particular music artists, or anyone that you look to for inspiration?
Who inspires me? I would say my friends and family, to be honest. You know, they're the first point of call with anything with my life. Whenever I have like a new management for whatever it is or anything like that, or I have a new song that I want to show people, it's always my friends and family. So I think having them in my life is really important because I do get quite lonely sometimes. I live by myself in this apartment, as you can see, it's just me and it can get quite lonely. So it's really nice to have that core group of friends and especially my family to be the first point of call for me.
Lovely. All right, Matt, what an awesome guy. Really wishing you the best of luck with the music. Really heartfelt stuff in there. And of course, for Home and Away. Hope to see you in sunny Perth soon. And thank you for joining me today here at TV Central.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that was Matt Evans. Definitely more than meets the eye. If you only know him from Home and Away and haven't checked out his music, please type in Matt Evans into Spotify or whatever platform you use and check out his music. It's awesome. Home and Away returns on Monday, the 8th of January, 2024 on 7 and 7 Plus. That's it for this podcast. For all the latest news, streaming info, ratings, television guides, and podcasts, head to tvcentral.com.au. But for now, I'm Aaron Ryan, and thanks to Matt Evans. Bye for now.